Okay, along the way, I think I will just, improve up my angles. So all these are all B rolls. Okay,
Suddenly I had nothing. To the extent.
so I finally labeled this series, and this whole channel is actually 𝗁𝗂 Breakthrough Repeat. It is an approach that I use for the coaching of my students, the coaching of my participants in the work that I do with JSI, which is namely 𝗀𝗄𝗂 International. So anyway, this series is about, the title is Mom's Eulogy, reflecting on mom's quote. Yeah, maybe you'll see some text. I will just animate the whole thing. So today, the episode number 1, I shall read out the title. When I was a teenager, I read a book about exercises for girls, and I didn't understand what's like when you can't see your feet while standing upright. Now I do. Can't get rid of the obstruction lay. So growing up, mom was a chubby kid, and into her adulthood, she has always been chubby. And I can somehow, I wouldn't say reflect, but understand that because I too grew up as a chubby kid. And the problem that I felt was I couldn't understand why I was chubby. But funnily, the DNA wise, grandma was on the bigger size, grandpa was on the bigger size. My dad is not slim. In fact, he is a judge for women's bodybuilding. And mom definitely was on the rounder side. But I've never felt that she was fat. Just like I always think that I am on the other end. I don't think mom was fat, but I always thought that I was fat. It doesn't help when growing up you have people around you telling you that, giving you nicknames, calling you fat and whatnot. And in our upbringing, the people around us, may it be family, friends, anyone, everything they say would unknowingly shape our reality. I still remember when I was in primary school, my teacher, I still remember his name, Mr. Lim, would love to squeeze my cheeks, being on the chubby side, and I didn't like that experience because it was painful. I don't mind the attention, but it was the pain squeezing the cheek. And I even had my foster brother loving to bite my cheek. I used to have dimples. Now I have no more dimples. I'm sure it's nothing to do with the bite. I'm sure it's something to do with the cheeks. Getting fatter. I can't remember. Do I have dimples? I'm not sure. You can tell me. So the upbringing of a child is challenging because as much as you do not want to expose your child to negative narratives, it is challenging because you are not with the child 24/7. So the child is bound to shape their reality based on what they hear, what they see, and how they feel. And that may not be the truth, but it is their reality. Note is two different things. The truth is the same for many of us, but the reality is very different for each and every one of us. A twin can go through life through the same parent, uh, same housing, same amount of money, same kind of food, but it is the two different twins will have a different perspective on life. Now I have like 15 birds around me. I don't think they think that I'm going to feed them. So anyway, and because of this, the perspective on life would affect how they will behave growing up. And sadly, that is a sad thing. Because if they believe on what they hear, feel, and see, it becomes their reality. Their behavior is governed by that. Not everything we hear, feel, and see is the truth. And at a young age of growing up, it is a challenge to know what is the real truth. Because our parents don't sit down with us and talk to us then. But I'm sure parents right now, they make the effort to speak to their children, explaining about anger, sadness, or whatever emotion. That's great. But in the previous generation, things are not like that. And if you do not go through an experience of understanding or parents explaining, you as a parent will be unable to experience that. You can't share that to your child. And this is what we call about trauma repeated. It is passed down through generations. And as much as my mom is basically a very positive person, but there's a lot of trauma that my mom has, a lot of sadness that she has that she don't show me. And it's only through my reflection that I realize that my mom's trauma, as much as it is hers, it has passed down to me unknowingly, including my dad. And because of that, I had a hard time understanding. Some I was explained by people. Most I had to break through on my own to seek for answers to understand what was the real reason. As a child growing up overweight, with everyone telling me that, it didn't help that mom fed me well. It didn't help that I love eating because people around me love feeding me. But that's the funny thing. They feed you out of love, but there'll be people who are the same people who feed you who will still label you fat. And that is the part whereby it's difficult for a child to understand. As much as I am in my midlife, I should have the hang of understanding the realities of being fat. But the funny thing is, many of us, even in our adult life, struggle with whatever we were told when we were younger. You can be called stupid, you can be called not good looking, you can be called short, whatever it is, it's all the same. It's all just description. I understand that my understanding of being fat has improved over the years, but more so in the later part of my age. But I've yet to reach the equilibrium whereby I can 100% say that I am okay. But I'm definitely a lot more okay than last time. So this is mom's first quote. I hope you actually enjoy it. It's not supposed to be solemn, it's supposed to be funny, and how it rolls. And I would like to see you next time on episode 2. Check out episode 2. Peace.